Technologists from CSI. Congratulations to the three of you. ATAS is now a proud sponsor of National Women in Roofing. Leanne and Tiffany Hutchinson are charter members. So this is a new affiliate for ATAS, and it's started by the National Roofing Contractors Association. I'm about to say, you guys not hiding back there, are you? We just didn't put enough chairs out. I thought you were going to stay behind the curtain there. All right. Recent event, we had our third international melting pot. We had people here from Mexico, Colombia, Chile, Ghana, Turkey, no, not Ghana, but Turkey and several people from Canada. So this is our, we do this for our international customers every other year, so this is our third event, and it was very well attended, and looks like a bunch of them are going to be coming back in 2020. Congratulations to our construction team. They got the award for, they got the People's Choice Award. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, People's Choice Award. They raised $847 for what's the Second Harvest Food Bank, and they donated 5,483 cans to make this Wizard of Oz can sculpture. Let's see if I have everybody's name in here.
It was the best meal, like that they won. Best meal.
Best meal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I have everybody's name in here? All right, where'd my cursor go?
Move it over to the left.
Yeah. Keep going.
Straight all the way over.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Oh, there you are. Let's see, the team members were Kevin Clersey, Patrick Reinhardt, Ann Hicks, Cheryl Ann Wilkinson, Chris Grover, Andrew Rubber, Jason Eberts, Glenn Heckler, Cindy Galzinski, Dylan Repsher, Brian Sylvius, Julie Whelan, Leanne Slattery, and Janet Grazel was the architect from the architectural studio. What? Okay, we also participated in Manufacturing Day on October the 5th. This is sponsored by the National Association of Manufacturers out of Washington, D.C. This is our 6th year that we participate in this. We had students, some of you go on a board to tell these kids what we do. So it was pretty good. Well, actually, this is our lowest turnout in 6 years. We typically have 120 to 150 kids, and I think this year, Ann, what was it, like 40? Something like that? So, but we'll continue to support the manufacturers. It's good exposure for us and good exposure to get kids into manufacturing. We had our first Cape Mesa event at our Mesa, Arizona facility on December the 3rd. For those of you who are not familiar with what we do there in Mesa, that's the American flag that is made out of Versalock, or Versaseam, I'm sorry. The stars are cut in this turret press. That's been up there for probably 8 years. I think that American flag has been there to dress up that building. So anyways, this was a very well attended event. For the first one, we had about 70 people in attendance. So we're gonna, I asked the question, are we gonna do this again? No chairs back there. So anyways, we're gonna continue to host this similar to the one that we have here in Allentown. But this is our first one for doing it in Mesa. Also, on December the 3rd, we had our ribbon cutting ceremony for our solar installation at the Mesa facility. That was completed in July, and since then it's cut our electric bill in half each month. We're going to be doing it, putting solar on the Grant Way building, that's this one here. And so that's projected, it's going to totally eliminate our electric bill for this building and the Grant Way building. So, and if anybody going to ask a question, what about with our new building? As long as we're located within 2 miles of our solar array, it will affect that building. And so that building is, as the crow flies, is actually about 1.2 miles. So The investment that we're making in Grant Way for solar will benefit us for now here and then also when we build a new building. Upcoming trade shows, Master Specifications, Master Specifiers Retreat from CSI is January 31st to February 2nd in California, and the IRE in Nashville is February 11th to the 13th. Milestone birthday party is January the 3rd, and we're having a retirement party. Wonder who's retiring? Not me, not yet. Anyways, on January 5th is our ice cream wars with the Da Vinci Science Center. This is the 11th year that they've been having it. I think we've been participating 9 of those 11 years. Joanne Hirsch, Alicia Mansbury, Allison Gusley, Kevin Clearsey, Patrick Reinhardt, Andrew Weber, Dylan Rapture, R.C. Antle, Ivan Garcia, and Ann Hicks are the ones that are going to be coming up. I think they already came up with their ice cream flavor, I think. But anyways, come on out and support them, support Da Vinci, and try a lot of different good, great flavors of ice cream. Let's see here. Why is this moving? There it is. Give you save the date for the Employee Appreciation Party. It's going to be March 2nd at Brookside Country Club. And here comes our retiree. It's January the 4th. Carla, you here? Oh, okay. She didn't come to yesterday's meeting. She booked out on today's meeting, huh? All right. Smart girl. Anyways, another reminder is our March 4th little resolution. Some people have already reached their goals. For those of you who are not familiar with it, this is our Wooden Shoe Award. You get that little spin on that, wooden shoe, or wouldn't you like to accomplish something? So I think everybody's seen the posters that are up here, but for the outside salespeople who not, if you haven't set a goal, now's the time to get involved with this program. Okay, some reminders. Return the ATAS silverware dishes to the cafe or lunchroom it was taken from. All work needs for maintenance requirements and maintenance request form to be completed and given to your supervisor. Keep a lookout for suspicious emails or phone calls that look and sound like it's coming from people you know. Don't click on any link you suspect may be malicious. Open enrollment to sign up or make changes to your health insurance is in December. Make sure to update your beneficiaries for your life insurance and 401k. They did not carry over during our switch. Please update your address and personal information in ADP for the W-2 year-end purposes. So if you've moved or changed your status, make sure you get online and take care of that. When out of the office for any event, please let the front office know your location or mark the out of office calendar. Please talk with Karen Sue if there's any question regarding personal shipments via UPS or the Postal Service so that packages are placed in the proper places for speedy delivery. I noticed today that a bunch of packages were delivered to people because they can't send them home. That's okay. Let Karen Sue know that's coming. All right, tentative ship dates. The past 12 months, we slipped a little bit. We were last year 9% late on orders. This year we're 11.8. We need to work on that. Eric is working on making sure that we have the right parameters in place to make sure we're captured properly. But definitely we need to improve on that. That's way too many orders that we're late on. Some of it we suspect is due to customer pickup, that we tell it's done and then they don't pick it up for days later. So that's what I think is what part of it is, but I'm not sure on that. But for the month of November, we got better. We went from 9% down to 8%, so it's trending the right way. So we're seeing a shift in our product mix. You can see here that the amount of material that ATAS purchases peaked in July and has steadily come down. I think this is a shift in the type of product that we're manufacturing. We're doing a lot more value add, which is a good thing, so let's not get too hung up on it that we're seeing a little bit of a downturn. And I think it's just more of a timing issue. I think it's going to continue to get better from here. I think we bottomed out. This is a chart of us with us toll processing where we had peaked in April and started coming down. So again, like I said, I think we bottomed out. Things are going to start heading in the right direction again. This is a square footage of product of Mesa without the toll forming. For those of you who are not familiar with toll forming, it's where we're taking metal from other companies, their metal, fabricating it into product, whether we're embossing it, slitting it, panel production, that type of thing. So that's called toll processing. We're not buying the metal. So this one here is where we are just buying the metal and supplying it. And this one here is with the toll processing. This one is not a surprise. We lost VM Zinc because they sold out. And so this is on a rolling 12. This is going to continue to go down, but I think we're at bottom with them because toll processing stopped about February of last year, of this year. So this is what it looks like with all processing in all locations. Another thing that I track is the amount of square foot produced per man hour. That's indicative of a little bit of a shift away from some of the commodity stuff, which is not a bad thing. So we're heading in the right direction. November showed a slight decrease in the amount of product per square foot, product produced per man hour. Nothing that I'm concerned about. Okay, suggestion here from Phil Dorincott, adding some upcharges for special lengths to the online pricing. Mark responded, and well, let me read. Phil said, does the online price list contain the parameters for upcharge for special lengths? I believe the policy is a $28 upcharge for each unique length for which less than 10 pieces is ordered. Where is this policy written? If not, maybe it should be addressed in the online pricing pages. Mark said, agreed. I'm not creating pricing for it. It needs to be priced on a case-by-case basis for material scrap utilization. We might want to say, if it's not there, special lengths up to 25 feet can be ordered, but will be subject to upcharges, minimums, runs, and extended lead time. By the way, Chris, this pot keeps popping up. Chris has arrived, Chris has left, Chris has...
People just joining and dropping out of the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's
it's
a-
coming out.
We're not-
So it's
we're not
there.
there. Yeah.
All right.
That might be Chris Berger.
All right. Another suggestion, have a certain area for motorcycles to park. Instead of taking up a parking space for each one, maybe two can park together. So I think that's a good idea for those of you who ride motorcycles. Be a little bit considerate and put two motorcycles on one parking spot. Another, not to use the Kenneth Center when the VEDC room is available. And that's more for the people that are use the dishwasher and that. So I think that's a good idea. If this room is empty, use this room rather than the cafe. We're taking that into consideration because we actually have that set up at the Mesa facility. There's a separate kitchen area, and we're going to make sure we incorporate that into the new building. Outside sales, and I know there's a bunch of outside sales people listening in here. Learn to dial direct to inside employees. I think that's a good idea. Leave phone messages with what you're looking for so your inside contact can look it up and then they'll get back to you. Don't use the front office all the time to track down the inside salespeople. The inside staff is trying to do a good job for you, but it creates a lot of work for the front office staff. Because there are multiple people who work here with the same first name, like there's a lot of Jim's here, Dave's here, Mike, Jason's. When ordering items by or for customers, please give the first and last names. Otherwise, people calling in return calls don't know who or what they want. So yes, I agree with that. Share your first and last name when you leave the messages. And by the way, we only have one Dick working here. Okay. Yesterday morning, they were still asleep. They didn't get it at all. All right. It would be very helpful to include include trim drawings with acknowledgement so that the end user can discern what was delivered. Pictures and color coding go a long way toward clarity versus multiple nomenclatures. I think this would not cost anything to ATAS and would ultimately save money and effort due to confusion. This was suggested from Chris Croder. I think that's a good idea. I think it's definitely going to get worked on. I don't know how quick they'll get it done, but it's a good idea. Let's see, Dave Shrokos, if we haven't already, or even if we have, please send a note out to our customer base that orders and important correspondence should not be handled via fax, unless we've made it aware that faxing will be the method of communication. I think we should have a notice on our webpage as well. Due to confidential information, so the answer to that suggestion is, due to the confidential information being sent via fax, Rita did not want us to use the e-fax idea. Sandy is scanning and emailing to me any POs that are faxed to the main line. I'm having the ITs then contact the customer to try to inform them not to fax but to email. If they insist on faxing, then they're given the fax number by Wendy for her to distribute to the inside or the interior salespeople. Hopefully, David, answered your question. All right. Now the lengthy part of my presentation. The suggestion: give fourth quarter bonus before Christmas. It would be nice to have extra cash before the holidays instead of after. I cannot accommodate that. You know when the bonus is being paid for fourth quarter? And the first quarter. We haven't completed the fourth quarter yet. So that leads me to believe that whoever wrote this doesn't understand what profit sharing means. Well, yes, this is the fourth quarter communications meeting, but the profit sharing is paid out a quarter late. Just simply because it takes accounting, getting all the bills in from our suppliers, getting all the paperwork done, it takes a whole quarter. So, that being said, let's see, does everybody understand what net sales means? Or net profits? Anybody not understand what net profit is? We start with what our sales are, and then we subtract all our expenses. Our materials, our freight, our labor, insurance costs. This is just a listing of some of the expenses. But we take all that out, and then there's a net profit. That's what I'm sharing when I do a profit sharing. And so, just show of hands. Everybody, raise your hand. Everybody, put your hand up in the air. So this next list, if your name's on this list, put your hand down. Everybody go through it? Is your name on the list? All right, is it on this list? Put your hand down. Steve, your name's not on the list? So who's still got their hand up in the air? That means you're all responsible for the profits of the company. Whoever left their hand up in the air is not sharing in the profit sharing, is not responsible. But guess what? I don't see anybody's hand in the air. Even my name's on this list. We're all responsible for the profitability of the company. So let's go through some of them. And this is, some of these here are different departments. We spend $62,000 a year in 2x4s that are 12 foot long. This one item. So think about it, we're able to reduce it by 1%. Now, I'm not saying it goes to zero. Absolutely, it's not practical to take all our expenses and run it down to zero. But if we can reduce whatever expense item you're involved in, if you can reduce it by 1%, there's more profit to share. So, there's one item. We spend $26,000 in UPS overnight shipments. It's a lot of money. And we can reduce that by 1%. And I'm not just saying it is because of salespeople asking, get this out overnight. Sometimes it's fasteners, we ship them on colors, now we got a FedEx new ones. And oh, by the way, a lot of times we don't get those fasteners back, so it's a double whammy. If we just think about, before we're paying out money for overnight charges, think about it, is it really necessary to be overnight charges? And I know that the customer service staff does a good job of asking the customers when they say, I have to have it overnight, we'll give you your overnight number. Let them pay for it if they need it. Ann's favorite one. And guess what? Ann and I found a way to save some copy paper. Almost $3,000 in copy paper. I use my cell phone more often. She makes a reservation for me at Wally Park down at Philadelphia Airport, rather than now print me a copy, she sends me the email on it. So I just scroll down through my phone, find it, hand it to the person, so now there's no more paper printed. And you can say that's being foolish, but guess what? Every little bit helps. 8,000 hours we paid out in overtime hours. So we can reduce overtime. And I'm not saying it has to go away. For those of you in production saying it, well, orders come in and we need to stay here late and get it done. I understand that. But let's figure out how we can do it more efficiently, because if we reduce overtime hours, we increase profit. Another area, we had 23 employees sign up to get their flu shot here on October the 25th. 25 out of about 100 people that are here. Well, since January, we had 6 cases of the flu, which cost an average of $772 per person for medicine. That's $4,200, $4,600 is what it cost the company for those people that got the flu, that didn't want to do a flu shot. And they cost the employees, if they get the flu, there's $20 to see the doctor, plus $10 for the flu medication, for a total of $30 out of your pocket. And the cost to someone to get the flu shot was $25 if ATAS pays for it. So it's more cost effective. And besides that, you lose your time. So think about that. And the cost to you as the employee with insurance to get the flu shot costs you nothing. Like I said, it costs $772 to the company for every person who doesn't have the flu, come down with the flu. So another big item is the amount of scrap. We create over 500,000 pounds of scrap a year. And if we can reduce that by 1%, it's 5,000 pounds of metal at an average of around $2 a pound. It's a lot of money. So, I don't have the number yet. I will have it by Monday morning what the third quarter profit sharing is going to look like, and it will be paid by next Friday. So you have it on time for Christmas. Questions? Wow. Yesterday's group had all kinds of questions. All right, Ann found this for us. Teamwork is the secret that makes common people achieve uncommon results. I'm not going to try and pronounce that person's name that came up with that. So did everybody see this Christmas tree? I think the office did a great job participating in the Christmas decorations. I like this one in the shop. I wish the shop had participated a little bit more too. We're all part of the same team. We want your participation. Okay, high five award. 3 different managers. The high five award is by managers. The managers recommend the different people. So, 3 managers nominated Vernon Smith here in Allentown, Wilfredo Mendez in Trenton, Gail Benish in Morrisville, Kyle Marks here in Allentown. Those are the ones that are recommended. And the winner is?
Wilfredo Senior. There's 3 Wilfredos in Trenton.
And the winner is
It's just, it's on.
Vernon. Surprise. Vernon, did you stick around? Because I presented this yesterday. I told him he'd have to wait until after this presentation. I guess he did, so.
Well, we can just,
You want to read it or you want me to?
yeah, there's, he's willing to participate in events representing ATAS beyond his work responsibilities and does a great job at it. His positive attributes at work include patience, self-control, and friendliness. Vernon cooperates and aims to please when work is needed. Vernon is open-minded and willing to learn new necessary maintenance repairs. Vernon accepts participation beyond work responsibilities and does a great job door decorating. He is helpful and a personable coworker. Thank you for your cooperation and willingness to share your experiences and knowledge with coworkers and students. I got 1 write-up on Vernon out of the 3, and I believe this was from me.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. If I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas.